Welcome to our webinar, everyone. The webinar, Redefining the Hospitality Experience Through Innovation, with a core theme that's going to be centered around getting back to business. This opportunity, this event is being brought to you with the support and partnership of Brigest, Hospitality Environments, My Protect Kit, Astria North America, and of course, Hilton Business Ventures. And so we're going to get a chance to have some conversations with a handful of people. But before we go into that, my name is Danny Hughes, and it's going to be my job and my role to not only try to navigate through this robust and compelling content that you will have today, but also to interchange and interact with some of innovation, industry icons, influence leaders that are all visiting with us today. You know, I'd like to take that opening core and expand it because we are having these innovation, industry, and influence leaders who are uniting return to travel, guest and staff safety, expanded profit centers, and superior service. And you're going to hear a common thread throughout. Mr. Brad Hilton will mention often, as the rest of our panelists, is about the guest experience. It's about improving and looking for ways in which we can create innovation and support to make that the next focus for what we're going to be working on. Before we get started, I'd like to lay some foundation statements about what we're going to be doing together. So, of course, as shared and advertised, we're going to really focus hard to keep it on our target time of 90 minutes. We're going to keep this fast-paced, interactive, engaging, and we're going to insert videos throughout to add some color and some context to it. We're going to get thought leaders' insight. We're going to be doing some Q&As throughout their time and bringing people, and then each one of them will have some call to actions, and so we'll invite them to share that. And then we'll summarize the issues at the end and the opportunities with that as a framework. And if that sounds good, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, Brad, I'd like to introduce you first, my good friend, Brad Hilton of the Hilton Business Ventures. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Danny. Thanks for all the kind words, and thank you everyone for being at our hospitality event today. You know, we have many innovative solutions to share with you in regards to guest experience. I'm very happy to be here.
Fantastic. Well, what I'd like for you to do is share with the audience a little bit about your personal story, about Conrad's influence on the industry, the innovation and the pioneering of solutions inside of the hospitality, but also, if you would, share it through the lens of, as the industry has gone through the past 18 months, COVID pandemic, and it's coming out of it, is right now the right time for a burst of innovation, as you've seen in different areas throughout the history of the industry and maybe things in period that Conrad enjoyed. So share with the people the journey, your background, and in that lens, if you don't mind.
Sure, love to. My grandfather was the first in many innovations. He was the first with the computerized central reservation system. He was first with common area air conditioning, in-room guest TVs, in-room direct dial telephones, and he was the first international hotelier. So he had many more firsts. He was definitely an innovator in looking into the future to keep that competitive advantage. So a little bit about myself. I started with Hilton when I was 17 as a network administrator for Hilton Hotels reservation system. And during my time there, about 15 years, my focus was to continue my grandfather's legacy in pioneering innovations in the hotel industry. At 33, I stepped out of Hilton and became an entrepreneur and had a focus on technology and innovation for the hospitality industry. And over the last 20 years, I've founded many successful businesses, and that really leads us to today. I founded Hilton Business Venture to offer first-in-class products and create the next legacy Hilton family businesses. One of my companies, America First Response, is addressing getting back to work and life safely, and we're doing that with our partners, Global Protection Gateway, with Hospitality Environments, We've teamed up with some very innovative companies to offer what we have, and we'll be introducing these innovative solutions to you, and we have many more coming down the pike. They address key problems that are happening in the hospitality industry today, and we've got some new innovative ways to create new revenue streams. And to address some of the current issues in the hospitality industry is keeping your guests and staff safe from COVID and reducing risk and liabilities to the company. There's a lot of lawsuits right now going on around COVID, and that list keeps growing. Every business needs to really look how they could best protect themselves, and to offer your guests the best safety you can puts you in a much better position if somebody were to want to force a liability issue. We've come up with solutions to bring back your guests safely, as well as to create new guest experiences.
And also from the standpoint that we talked about it yesterday, and I think this would be a great segue for you to introduce our special guest, Dieter, is the timing, the coming out of the experience that we've had the last 18 months. Those are all initiatives that are compelling and warranted, but the timing now, is it critical? Is it essential? Is it timely to be doing and engaging those as we are getting back into it? Expand on that, then introduce our special guest, Dieter, and you guys can probably have some good conversations about that as well.
Sure. It's an honor to have Dieter here with us. Dieter was in the hospitality business for over 35 years. Dieter was definitely right in the middle of a lot of the Hilton innovations that occurred and helped it to become one of the #1 trusted brands in the world. It really comes down to everything that we're going to talk about, the guest experience. Every step a guest takes in your property matters. How the guest perceives everything really matters. And somebody that really knows that really well is Dieter. Thank you, Dieter, for being with us today to share your wisdom and how you see the hospitality industry moving forward in this post-pandemic world.
Thanks a lot. I think it's really a propitious timing to have this kind of dialogue we have. And when you mentioned Conrad Hilton, and I thought of my mind was spinning back a little bit when I was a young guy, the Washington Hilton food and beverage director, and Conrad would come there occasionally. And we knew what he was going to order. It was meatballs and spaghetti, simple. And he said to me, Dieter, these are the best meatballs anywhere I go to. I said, Mr. Hilton, respectfully, we make them out of filet mignon, only for you. So that was his sense of humor, but it's going back so many years. Yeah, and I have been sort of a gypsy internationally. I've managed hotels in the Middle East and Europe. The great Hilton Hawaiian Village thereafter I became president for Hilton Hotels operation. And thereafter, after 10 years on being a board member and running the managed and owned hotels and many other things, I retired, and then I bought a hotel, in Montana, which is kind of interesting from my background, because on one hand, you're an operator, and then all of a sudden you're a developer and a hotel owner. It's a different way of doing it. So I'm looking back a little bit on what we went through the last 18 months. And it was a tough period as an owner and as a hotel company. And I really want to just extend my appreciation for the people in charge, like Chris Nassetta, the CEO of Hilton. You have Chip Rogers, the CEO of the American Hotel Association. And I was years ago past chairman of the American Hotel Association, but what they have done with the help of the government, without the PPP, the forgiveness loan arrangement, the Paycheck Protection Program, many smaller hotels and restaurants would not be open today. So that was a tremendous help to get us through this tough period of time. And as Danny said, I think now we can celebrate and getting back to business. So that's an interest. That's really the point. Within really 6 weeks or so, for businesses are really booming. And if you want to get a room in Hawaii, you can pay $1,000 a night. Pre-COVID, it was like $300. So prices are going up. good news. Business is good. And when you look at our industry, and I've been around and I've seen the vicissitudes of life, from terrorism to 9/11 and other catastrophes, financial crisis, and so forth. I used to make this statement, and I believe in it, that the travel and hospitality industry is probably one of the most resilient industry. It will always bounce back, and the reason for that is that we are gregarious. We want to meet people. I think to some extent, the ubiquitous Zooming hopefully will stop and we can meet together and have a drink later on after the meeting. That I think it's going to happen. It will take some time. It will be a combination of many factors. But so from that end, so it will rebound. But every crisis, as the saying goes, really creates an opportunity. And this is where we are today now with business coming back. I mean, you look at United Airlines buying another 270 new airplanes. I was just saw a financial report on the net worth of people in the United States had a record of $137 trillion. And consumer spending is up 11%, even over 2019. Now we know why, because I think it's kind of the bank is as federal banks are buying massively bonds and assets, and it's almost the horse is out of the barn, and the horse is inflation. That's another issue we have to deal with in our industry. And the trick is, can the federal bank put the horse back into the barn? We don't know that. So inflation will have an impact on us, and that's one more reason. And you're going to go deeper in it, that we have to look at finding through technology, finding ways to increase productivity, increase guest satisfaction, and whether it's a sanitation program, the wellness program, and there's so many things going on right now. In the hotel I own, we have done quite a few things in that sense. So there are great opportunities to look at it, and it's really a new chapter now going forward, and it's an exciting one. And I hope that the contribution and the discussion you have and the dialogue you have are directed towards guest satisfaction, wellness, and of course increasing productivity and fighting inflation and making some money for the hotels.
No, that's great. And in your opinion, like Conrad, when he had to go through many things, the depressions or 1918 pandemic, during those times, I know Conrad had to sell a lot of his hotels just to survive. And on the back end, the time to buy and innovate. And that's really what made the difference for him to become the hotelier that he did. In your opinion, is it time for innovation right now in the hotel industry while it's in recovery?
I think it's absolutely essential that we look at innovation through technology. It's critical, in my opinion. And with Hilton worldwide they've done a great job in the Clean Stay program. They helped by reducing the brand standards and so forth. From an operational point of view, hotel companies, as you know, I'm talking about the big hotel companies. They have changed over the last few decades from what it was. Today, it's really technology is a driving force. The technology in terms of the Hilton Honor, the guest loyalty programs, the reservation system, the contactless check-in, kiosks, room service, and all the things we're going to talk about. I mean, that is an ongoing thing, and is absolutely essential that companies really focus on that and make it far more seamless and easier for travelers to get a quick instant booking in a hotel, select the room, select a kind of bedding, select whatever air purification they want to have, and so forth, and on and on and on. That is something we have to, it's like the iPhone. I mean, the iPhone is my assistant now. I have everything on there. So it makes it much easier for the hotel industry also to do a better job without losing the basics. And that is really, it's the human contact, the sense of community. People look, that's why you want to get out. You want to travel, not just seeing a new destination. But I used to say we're in the business of making people happy. That's really with most people concentrated industry. On one hand, you have your team members, and then you have your customers, and these constituencies have to be really well coordinated and helped through technology.
No, I think that's well put. The guest experience, guest happiness is really what it all comes down to. So given that you're a hotel owner and you were such a leader in the business and understand the different aspects of things that are currently going on, what do you see as the risk and liabilities for hoteliers in some of the trends going on in the hospitality industry, such as staff reduction and guest features, and for hoteliers to be looking at new profit centers?
Well, I was amazed that we still have over 40 employees missing. We couldn't find any employees for the last 3 months. One of the part of the reasons is why should you work if you get a $300 extra benefits? You stay and wait it up. We all know the reasons. I think so. Staffing is a critical part, but I think again, technology is a hedge against inflation. I do believe that inflation, nobody knows for sure. Otherwise, we will make a lot of money if we know exactly where it's going. But with the amount of money being, the massive purchasing of bonds and so much wealth created in the stock market and in the real estate market, I believe that inflation it's something to be concerned of, and of course labor cost, that is critical. And the more we can streamline and use technology to be more productive, and as well to create a better experience, a wellness experience for our customers in your wellness, in spas or rooms or restaurants and so forth. Subconsciously, I think it will have a really great impact on a customer to experience that and say, wow, these guys are really well ahead. I appreciate what they're doing.
No, that's perfect. Thank you so much, Dieter.
Hey, you know what? I'd love for you guys to both stay on here just for a second, because Dieter could not have set us up more perfectly for the rest of our journey. Because what we're really talking about, you guys were exploring about disruptive and innovation, and you touched on these, Dieter, and we're talking about, we're going to take the audience through the journey and introduce technology and innovations around that pre-check-in, that arrival, that first impressions that you have, that in-room appreciation. You mentioned health, wellness. We've got solutions that's going to be health, wellness, reinforcement. And then we've got the departure, e-commerce, loyalty, that pre and post check-on. Parlaying off the points you made, we also think, courtesy of this presentation, that these are nice pivot points. Innovate, disrupt, and do all of what we said. Accelerate getting people back, accelerating guest comfort and experience, as well as staff safety, accelerate profit centers. So kudos, you set it up better than the points that you made during our.
No, Danny, this is an excellent slide, because on every stop, I call it every touch point, there's an opportunity, and the opportunity is great. And that's what we have aggressively have to look at, new opportunities to enhance that experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, again, Brad and Dieter, thank you so much for sharing your insights and your thoughts. Thank you, Dieter. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Again, for the audience, the perfect layup from both Brad and Dieter. And so we have a series of solutions that we're going to introduce to you. And we always wanted to make sure that we're thinking about how do we want to present it to you so that you can get the most out of this 90 minutes together. So we thought, let's do it through the journey of the eyes of the customer experience. And the first one we want to start off with is innovation around pre-arrival. And with that, I'm pleased to introduce John with Bryguest. John, glad to have you introduce, my man, and please go ahead and share with the audience who you are and the company, and then we'll navigate.
Thank you. Great presentation already from Dieter and from Brad. Well, my name is John Gutierrez. I represent Bryguest. We're a solutions company for the hospitality industry. My background has always been in the hospitality industry, in the IT side. So I know what that side is. I'm also an avid traveler. So I've got 2 young children, a wife. We travel the world. A lot of what we put into this product comes out of some personal experiences, and also personal frustrations as well. When I developed the virtual concierge, I always, when I go to a hotel, I always want to see, I take a step back and I put myself as, okay, how can we do this better? What's missing here? So a lot of what we're going to show you, as I say, is come out of personal experiences and some frustration. So the first thing we want to do is just show a little video, a little bit of a teaser.
That's a nice video. So, in putting it in context for the community, talk about when you think about that pre-experience in the video and the capabilities, but let's talk about those unique challenges that sort of make up that pre-guest arrival experience, and how did you focus on that and then build a solution around it?
I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the challenges. Obviously, we know that the guest expectations has risen. It's not just about booking a nice room anymore. Well, guests want to create experiences. They want to create memories. They're much more demanding, and they're not so brand loyal anymore. So we really need to do everything we can to engage with them and exceed their expectations at every point. We also have changing consumer behavior. So we have a lot of disruptive companies come in and change all aspects of our lives, the way that we travel, the way we book our holiday, the way we pay, watch movies, interact. And now the biggest disrupt at the moment is the way that we have food delivered to our home. And also the way that we interact with these people is, obviously, we become lazier. We use more voice assistants. So we just want to talk to our phone, talk to your iPhone, have it interpret what I want and give us the information. Data touched on that point. There's a shortage of trained personnel within the hotel industry. And so technology is going to help to bridge that gap. For this first part, because I'm going to come in 2 parts, but the first part we're talking about before they arrive. So we understand that guests have lots and lots of questions. This is the first challenge even before they arrive, especially with the COVID now, where information is changing constantly. Companies are changing their policies. It's very difficult for the staff to know what the latest policies are. And then we always have this challenge in hospitality. We have some great staff, talk lots of languages, but they're not always available 24/7. We wanted to be disruptive, so our virtual concierge uses AI, and I just wanted to show you a little bit of how you can use AI, for example, to answer all of those questions, take the burden off the staff. So you can ask it, what time is check-in? Do I need to wear a mask? The French one took me a little bit longer because my French isn't so good, and I didn't dare to do it with voice. But you can see that you can ask questions, languages, you can ask, so you can really unburden your staff with all of these questions and get all of the insights of exactly what the guests are asking for. And again, we touched on the pre-check-in. This is now one of the key things. People now expect to be able to do a pre-check-in. They don't want to wait in line. They want to be able to verify their guest information. They want to upload their ID documents, verify rates, agree terms, even sign digitally. Now, all of this information, again, valuable information for the hotel. They can manage their room cleaning rota. So we're really starting to get a lot of data back to the hotel. And this isn't a nice to have. This is a must have now.
Hey, John, on this one, is this going to keep me from having to carry around all these stupid travel cards that say, hey, here you go. You got that card? So is that going to help with that?
Well, the idea here is you'll be able to upload all the information. So you're not going to have to wait in line for the receptionist to do that. You've uploaded your information, and even with AI, there's a lot of things that we can do to speed up that process. But this is automating, it's speeding up the process. When I get to the hotel, I want to get to my room. I don't want to wait in line for an hour. So the next thing in part of our journey, I'm going to use the virtual concierge. I need to organize my my transfer from the airport to the hotel. So I'm just going to ask the virtual concierge about airport transfer. It's going to show me all my options. So here's an opportunity for you now to put your preferred partner in there. You may have, Hertz as your preferred partner. The guest might receive a discount. As we all know in the hospitality industry, if ever there's a problem with the car rental company, it's always going to be the hotel's fault. So here you're managing as well. You're putting your preferred partners in front of your guests. So, I'm going to go ahead and book my transportation. Now, the next thing I want to touch on is this is really the power of artificial intelligence. This is new for the industry. We talk about AI. It's very difficult to understand how we can implement that. We've made it easy. So, for example, my wife, it's her birthday during my stay. The virtual concierge knows that. So as part of my pre-stay, it's going to now start to show me items that it thinks that I need. For example, celebration items. Oh, look, there's a bottle of champagne and chocolates. Absolutely, as a good husband, I'm going to order those. I'm going to have them waiting for me in the room. We're now starting to exceed guest expectation. And this is the kind of service that the personalized service that we're really looking to be disruptive in, something very, very new. Now, Danny, I've got a flight to catch, so I'm gonna kind of leave it there for now. There is a part 2 coming later on, but for now, that part of the journey, John, is over.
Well done. That's right. For the guests, we'll be introducing it. So, okay, so we've touched on innovation around pre-arrival, and now it's about that essential first arrival, first impression. And with that, I'd like to introduce my good friend, CEO of Magnus and the partner of Astria North America, Sean Landgraf. Welcome, Sean.
Hey, Danny. Good to see you. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. Good to have you.
Good.
All right, buddy. So floor is yours. Introduce the audience to who you are, and then let's talk a little bit about Astria.
Awesome, Danny. Thanks again for having me. And I wanted to thank the participants for coming today. Dieter touched on this before. What's really interesting about the last 15 months is it's been a very difficult time, especially for this industry. But what we're seeing now is a boom time. I mean, they look at the Spanish flu of 1918. There's a direct correlation between that and the Roaring 20s. And I think we're in for a very similar trajectory. So we're in a really good place. So my name is Sean Landgraf. I'm the CEO and founder of Magnus Partners. Founded the company in 2000 with the focus on investing and starting in social impact investments, from education to health and wellness. Well, as we started to take a look at the pandemic and what could we do to make a difference, we started looking at sanitization, reopening. What could we do as a firm to promote that? We were very fortunate to partner with Astria North America, and I will show you today kind of how we're disrupting and innovating the space completely.
Fantastic. Look forward to it. So why don't we launch, if you would, the Astria video?
We all know customers and employees expect a great hand sanitizing experience. Empty or non-working dispensers reflect poorly on your brand, but checking dispensers, refilling sanitizer, and replacing batteries can take hours each week. That's why we created Astria Smart, the intelligent hand sanitizer system. We've combined our renowned pedal dispenser, premium gel sanitizer refills, and powerful monitoring technology into the most advanced sanitizer solution in the world. Astria Smart uses a revolutionary sensor system to keep you updated on the sanitizer level of each of your dispensers. Whenever any of them are low, an alert is sent to your SMS or email. Dispensers are linked by cellular network, so you can view the location and status of all your Astria Smart stands in real time. Everything you need, dispenser, sanitizer, and dashboard, is included in your subscription, all for just one low monthly payment. Adjust your monthly sanitizer deliveries at any time, right in your dashboard. Astria Smart is worry-free. It's pedal-operated and extremely durable. Built entirely from medical-grade stainless steel, dispensers come with a lifetime warranty, and smart technology ensures batteries last up to 5 years. And with so many branding options, Astria Smart becomes a safe marketing solution, or even a revenue generator. Astria Smart really is perfect anywhere. Show your customers and employees how much you care. Give them the best sanitizing experience possible with Astria Smart.
It's not very often that you would think a sanitizer dispenser could be innovative in such a way that it almost touches on each and all of those sort of mandates of what we're trying to do, right? We're talking improve the experience, safety, get back to travel, profit centers, expand services, manage the demands of your shortened staff, and streamline that. So congratulations on this. This is something else.
And thank you, Danny. And that's one of the things as we started to look at the marketplace is we basically said to ourselves, okay, so first of all, the existing marketplaces, it's dominated by a few players. The quality isn't good and it's very expensive. So rather than just take the approach of let's build a better stand for a cheaper price point and better sanitizer, we took the initiative to say, how do we completely disrupt this space? And that's what we've done. So what we've built is, and obviously at Astria North America, we partnered with a company called RSAT based in Europe, one of the largest aerospace companies. So we've not only built a superior product in the marketplace, but we've also looked at it of taking cost centers. How do we do that? Take cost centers and drive additional profit out of it. And more so, how do we leverage technologies to decrease operational expenses, inventory expenses? So I will show you what we built.
Tell me it flies. If you tell me it flies, then I'll be good.
Not just yet, buddy. We're working on some really cool stuff on solar. So we imported our first 70,000 units in September of last year. In a very short period of time, we've been able to win some of the largest and most prestigious brand accounts, not only in the United States, but in the world. I'll walk you through how we're activating with them. And that's, again, because we're taking a very different approach to how we view this marketplace. It's been designed from the beginning to be an indoor-outdoor unit. What is super interesting is when people look at sanitizers, you have to touch something to clean your hands. We thought that was completely counterintuitive, so it's foot pedal activated. We have developed some ADA compliant tops for the United States market, which we need, medical grade stainless steel, and completely bulletproof. Because it's bulletproof, we offer a lifetime warranty. So if anything happens whatsoever to the unit, we'll just swap it out for you. But what we also started looking at was the environmental impact of this. When you look at the current competitors, you've got non-recyclable stands, non-recyclable pods, but more so, you need to change the batteries on those units every 5 gallons, which is horrible for the environment. So ours don't require batteries. And we are also in the process of not only will be the most environmentally friendly today, but we're in the process of developing hemp cardboards and hemp plastics, which will launch in the next 6 months, which will make us completely biodegradable. So then we started looking through, okay, we have a superior product in the market. How do we now create tech? How do we leverage tech and our marketing expertise to actually drive engagement? So what we've done here is we've got a couple really interesting customization options. When we first started, we were able to do, as you see in the Coke example, powder coating, some really beautiful stickers, and then activate off the QR code. But we had a bunch of our larger stadium clients approach us and say, hey, listen, we would love to be able to swap out the messaging for every concert, for every event that we have. In the Lakers example, they have 4 different teams that play there, right? So what we came up with is the Astria sleeve, which allows you to change those out on the fly. And we have a lot of our stadium partners and hospitality partners that are doing that. And then what we're really, really excited about is the QR code technology you're looking at. That allows you to engage with them by downloading your hotel app, driving revenue to theaters, concerts, anything local to the hotel. So that's what you're looking at here. We do some really interesting co-sponsorship opportunities where we work with major brands. They actually purchase the units and then they deploy them in the hospitality environment. So right now we operate off of QR as a coming soon in the next 90 days. So we're going to be launching Astria Display. What Astria Display is it's not going to change the aesthetics of the unit because we think it's beautiful, but it allows you to actually do change the messaging on top of the unit in real time, and then be able to stream video, which is a totally different level of engagement. So I'll show you some of the stuff that we're doing with Hilton. To give you an example, this is our stainless steel unit, just with a vinyl sticker on there. But what we do off the QR code, if you just want to keep it very simple, and in terms of the design, is allow you to engage, either download the Hilton app, get 15% off of in-hotel experience, or what we do with a lot of our clients is partner with a local restaurant, partner with a local theater, a concert. So what we've now done is we've taken what was a cost center for Hilton. They can now charge Capital Grill or the local theater X dollars per month, and I'll follow up with everyone with what those numbers look like. They're actually when we did the math, it was unbelievable. But you can now engage with those partners. You could also do this to download the virtual concierge. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do with the branding opportunity. Now, one of the pain points early on when we were talking to casinos and theme parks and major hospitality chains was the issue they were having was they have the consumer, so they had no real way of tracking it other than having people walk around. So that's obviously tremendous amount of strain on your people. And so two things would happen. One, there'd be no juice in there, or the batteries would be out. So think about this. Someone walks into your hotel. They're looking for a 5-star experience. And the first thing they do is go to interact with this unit that's supposed to keep them safe. And there's nothing in there, or the batteries are dead. So we had to fix that. So what we developed, and we have a magnificent team that's done this, we developed Astria Smart. What Astria Smart is a sensor technology connected via cellular that goes in the unit. We did not want to change the aesthetics. So as you see, it actually is inside the top there. And what it does is it allows you in real time to manage every stand on your network. So you know exact inventory levels. You know exactly kind of when you need to refill them. And then we've created a back-end portal with auto refill programs so that we know when you hit X threshold, we auto ship to you, which so decreases maintenance, decreases inventory. But was also an interesting thing about Astria Smart is a lot of our larger brand partners, we can now say to them, we know now that people have engaged 50,000 times with the stand, and why we can say that is because we're tracking it. So we have two options. One, you could purchase the units outright and then buy the sanitizer on demand. Our more popular program is Astria Plus. One of the early pain points for hospitality was we have a sanitizer budget, but we don't have a CapEx budget, just because obviously they're just reopening. So what we've done is we created Astria Plus, where we give you the stand for free. You own it at the end of 12 months. All we ask for you to do is move your sanitizer budget over to us. And oh, by the way, we'll beat the price you currently have. So there's zero risk to you. We have a high quality product that's made in the United States, FDA registered facility, and it's cheaper than what your current pricing is. Here are the different products we offer. The Model S is specifically it was built for school systems, and we're in a Chicago Board of Education, a bunch of the larger ones. The medium and the large are our best sellers. The only difference between the two of those are the difference in the bottle size. And then the extra, extra large has been developed for the stadium environment, which has 3 5 liters. We've also developed a desk and wall unit, which will be highlighted at the US Open Tennis Tournament this year that we just won the contract for. And we also have a full line of sanitizer products. This is what goes in the stands, but we also have everything from 2 ounces up to 32 ounces that we sell. And again, when you start to look at our price points first, the competitive price point, they're at 5 to 6 cents per pump. We're at 1 cent per pump. So we beat you on the sanitizer also. So that's, Danny, kind of a quick overview of what makes Astria so different and innovative.
Hey, I want to keep that screen there for a second. So for those in the community who want to reach out and connect with Sean, there's a phone, there's the email address, so jot that down. Sean, well done. This is exciting, and I also know about your plans for innovation and continuing moving forward. So those will be future conversations, but well done. For Brad, if you don't mind, so we're focusing on time. I know that you wanted to have a little repartee with Sean. Do you just have a single question or a thought that you want to share to expand on? Then we can move on to My Protect Kit.
Sure. It's more of a statement rather than a question. When we first ran into Astria, the hand sanitizer station, most of the properties that you go to, I'm sure everybody has the same experience. It's not a very good looking aesthetic piece to have in your hotel. And then if it's not operational or not functioning properly, just everything about it can lead to a bad guest experience. And so when I first was introduced to Astria, really taken away by the quality and craftsmanship of the unit, but the business model around it to address the pain points and to offer it as a free item, and then to expand it into a profit center for the hotel or a potential profit center. Those are all the kind of things that we look for in a product that we're going to offer. And so we look for the best of the best, and Astria definitely meets that criteria. It is very unique in the marketplace. And so my first experience with it, when I saw it from a hotelier's perspective, I was really excited about it. Beyond the added capabilities that it has was perfect. We've talked to a lot of five-star hotel chains, and it's definitely a bane of their existence to have these cheaper units in place, and are really excited to see this technology as well as this nice piece to be displayed in their hotels.
Perfect summary. Sean, well done, my man. I appreciate you. And we'll follow up. So let's go ahead and bring back our circular chart here and just continue our journey through the experience. And then while we do that, let's queue up our friends Byron and Cece Scott. We have now taken the group to the journey of pre-arrival, first impressions. Now we want to go into, is there a way to do something as supportive of an in-room, an appreciation? And I think this is an interesting place to introduce what we'll call My Protect Kits. And imagine coming into the room, being greeted with, you've bypassed the check-in, you've got your hand sanitizers in a high quality stand, you're up into the room, and now you're in. And so I'm real excited to bring on our next panelist. I think many of us remember number 4 of the Lakers, Byron Scott. And what I also want him to have a chance to do is shed some light as to why he and Cece decided they wanted to be a part of this industry sector, how they partnered up with My Protect Kit. Byron and Cece, please join us.
Danny, how you doing?
Good. Glad to have you. So it's been a good 45 minutes. I think we're making good time so far. I'd love to have you guys launch the My Protect Kit video.
And he has 19 points in his first half for the Lakers. Magic Johnson to the right side, out to AC Green. Gives the ball to Byron Scott, takes it in the lane, forces the shot.
That's a cool video. Somebody did some pretty good editing on that. So again, introduce yourself to the community, and then let's talk about what got you excited about My Protect Kit, and share a little bit about what it actually is.
Danny, thank you. I am Byron Scott. Here's my beautiful wife, Celia. Everybody calls her Cece. And I think when the pandemic started, she's a registered nurse, ex-athlete who used to play here in Los Angeles, always have been big in the community, and just wanted to do something. And for me, Danny, it was really trying to bring fans back to the stadium. That was my first thought, trying to get that interaction with the players and the fans, to try to bring them back and try to do it in a very safe environment. And CC and I and our partners, Daron and Darren, we just thought it would be a great idea if once you got to the arenas, that you were given a little package that you can carry in your pocket, you can carry for women in their purse. And once you unzipped it, it was all done in a manufacturing facility and it was FDA approved. So once you unzipped it, you had your basics in there. You had your gloves, you had your mask, you had your hand sanitizer, you had a towel in there, wipe your face and things of that nature. We also wanted to put a little bit of a thermometer in there, a disposable thermometer. So we just thought about all those things that would get the fans back to the arena safely in a very safe environment. And we just thought My Protect Kit would be a perfect solution to that. And then we started to think about the hospitality. We connected with a couple of the hotels that we know here in Los Angeles, got them in the hotels. And just like you said, My Protect Kit to this event, you talked about the guests got into the hotel room. There's an added bonus. You get a My Protect Kit there. So the hotel is also telling you that they care about your safety as well. And so those little packs to us, very affordable, very practical, and very convenient. And we just thought it went hand in hand. That's really one of the main reasons that I got involved. And I know my wife has a little bit of a different reason because of her background.
Please and I'm Cecilia Gutierrez. I'm Cecilia Gutierrez Scott, and I'm Byron's better half. I'm a registered nurse. I've been an operating room nurse for about 23 years. So sterility is obviously my background. And so together, I connected with it because of protection and the safety for everyone around us and what was going on at the time. And we thought, wow, something quick, easy. As a mother myself, as grandparents, we have family of children. It's such a nice product to have, especially when you're traveling, when you're on the go. It's the perfect grab and go. And like Byron was saying, when you walk into a hotel room, it's a wonderful welcome kit for customers to see with the hotel logo customization on the package. And it's the first thing you see when you walk in the door. Just a really nice product to have. And with my nursing background, I just thought that every product that's in it, that's made and FDA approved, is just wonderful and perfect for our community.
What I find interesting is that first impression and that reinforcing impression of I'm here, I'm safe, this hotel, this facility, the stadium is equally committed to the safety and the cleanliness of this place as I'm concerned, right? So you're reinforcing that throughout the experience. But I also think it's interesting is that once you have it, we travel with it, right? So now you've got brand reinforcement beyond just the stay. Now you're traveling home and now you have it in your purse and now you're 2 weeks down. You're like, oh my gosh, I've got this thing. I've got some perpetuity to it, some brand reinforcement, which I think is positive. Is there flexibility as to what goes in it? How does a hotel decide what it wants to actually include?
Absolutely. That's one of the main things that we focus on is customization. If a hotel chooses to put certain items in the kit, maybe there might be certain items that they don't want. We customize it specifically to that client's needs. We have anywhere from medical grade nitrile gloves, basically anything you'd want to put in that package, depending on what your special needs are, we can place that for you and create a nice package for you with their logo on the front of it.
And the one thing about that, Danny, is it comes in 3 different sizes as well. When I mean sizes, they can put 3 items in there, they can put 4 items in there, or they can put 5 items in there. So it is truly customizable for the customer needs. And I think that's one of the great things about My Protect Kit is that anybody that looks at it from a production standpoint or people that want to just buy it off the shelf and just say, I don't really need the thermometer. I don't really need the hand gel. Or I don't need the gloves. I need the mask and I need it. So you can make it customizable to fit exactly what you want.
And right now, what we do for the hospitality areas doesn't have to be protection against a specific virus or bacteria or COVID. It's a protection kit for everything. So if you're in a hotel, there might be a kit that has sunscreen in it. So we do have My Protect kits with sunscreen in it, as well as the other items that go along with that. And having a thermometer is great for families with children.
Excellent. Excellent. Brad, thanks for rejoining. And then I know you wanted to have a quick thought or two to share with Byron and Cece.
Thanks. When I first discovered my Protect kit, we were definitely interested in the customization of kits. We were looking at that for the hospitality environments as well as other types of businesses, and there's really two ways to go. You can offer it as a retail product or as a giveaway. For arenas like Byron with the Lakers, if they started using this product, you can do a few extra things with them. Sports arena for a sports team, they could add trading cards into these units to make it one of the giveaways that they do at the front end. It's got a lot of branding potential. Carry that around and always be refreshing whatever brand is being displayed on those. It's a high value item. It's not always easy to see why you would make the investment, but it's something that it's all about eyeballs in keeping your brand relevant. By carrying around something that's carrying your brand, somebody's constantly reminded about that. Thank you so much, Byron, for being here today and introducing this to everyone.
And I will vote that CC is definitely the better half.
No, very good, very good. So yeah, my question.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that was great. And that's, again, the way these kits are put together. I've been to the manufacturing facility, which is right here in my hometown, Houston, Texas. That's another one of those items that's the best of the best in its category.
Fantastic. So let's drop on our next circular chart and let's keep going through the journey. We've touched on Brigest with the pre-arrival. We've got our sanitizers. We've got our My Protect kit and in-home, in-room appreciation and brand extension. And now we're sitting there in the room. We want to have that fresh experience. We want to have wellness reinforced. And this is an exciting technology and solution. So I'd like to bring our friends on from Hospitality Environments, get a chance to introduce these gentlemen, and then also launch a video. So Walter and Fraser, could you join us?
Hello, Dan. Pleasure to join us for this event. You're just a great narrator, a great host. Thank you for keeping us on track. I'd like to start off by saying my name is Walter Viveros. I'm the CEO of Hospitality Environments. As a visionary and an innovator, we've looked at the hospitality industry. We've been in it for a long time, and it was a real pleasure to get to work with Brad Hilton and Hilton Business Ventures Group. What a great strategic alliance for our company. And to be around a brand like Brad's family name and what they've done, in hospitality over the last 100 years. And having Dieter join us today, it was just really exciting. I feel humbled just to be part of a group like this. Really excited. When we looked at what we were doing as a company and keeping on with our theme, everything revolves around the guest experience. We understood that, it's always stated, but is it really delivered? It starts with the guest experience. We believe that sleep was the most important part that a hotel could give a customer. Was a good night's sleep. J.D. Powers said that the most powerful thing you can do for a guest is give them a good night's sleep. We also looked at where the future trend was going with connectivity, and that speaks to itself. We all live on our phones and our tablets and interact with the world, and Brigest did a great job on bringing that to the next level. We also looked at the extra touch, how people feel when they're in the room. And we were looking at the sleep system. We had, not in blue 21st century technology. We have a partner, Mr. Gandolfi, Stefano Gandolfi out of Italy. Amazing design. If you ever want to look at what beds are all about. Then we also realized there was a new trend coming along, and it was to do with air. And air, back because of SARS-CoV in 2013, we said, hey, this is not just a short-term thing. This is going to be an ongoing trend. And we really put our focus on air. And air was part of our 5 elements. We also talked about sound in a room and how you wind down to get, for a good night's sleep. So we looked at all the 5 elements. All of a sudden, boom, COVID-19 hits the sector, the black swan of all black swan events. It hit the world. The media bought on. There was tremendous fear being put in to the marketplace saying, traveling was unsafe. It just took our company and we put all our energy into the air. We've got a product called the hydroxyl generator, or OH Air. It was because of SARS-CoV. It was because there was odors in the room when you walk into a hotel room. We're always trying to keep it fresh, but COVID took it to a whole new level. With that said, the industry had to react immediately. What did the industry do? It immediately reacted and it partnered up with brands. You know, Hilton went partnered up with Mayo Clinic, and it partnered up with Lysol. Marriott partnered up with Johns Hopkins University. Ecolabs, the chemicals, it was always about cleaning and cleansing. They also partner up, you know, CDC and the World Health Organization were given tremendous recommendations. But remember, folks, we're running hotels, not hospitals. And when it comes down to the mask, the most welcome thing you get is a smile at the hotel desk. Welcome to our hotel. Or the bellhop, welcome to our hotel. That beautiful smile, that is hospitality. So as we move forward, we have to not only to supply products and services, that's very important to our technology, but it's also important that the hospitality industry really engages in the narrative to earn the trust from that guest, to get them back into the hotels through our technologies and our innovation. So the narrative and the story we tell to our marketplace is as important as the technology. When I approached Dieter Huckenstine, said, Dieter, our hydroxyl generator that was part of our 5 elements, I really think that we should, you know, approach the industry with what we've got and use this and take it on point. He says, Walter, there's 3 things. If you want to do business with the largest hospitality partners in the world, the product's got to deliver on the promise. It's got to be safe. And you also have to say, how can my guests afford it? How can my hoteliers, our partners, afford it? If you can establish those 3 things, you can do a lot of business and it'll impact the world. With that said,
yeah, let's roll tape. I want to roll tape on that one. That's exciting.
Hospitality Environments understands that both business and leisure travel is a valued and enriching part of modern life. Hoteliers the world over value their guests' and staff's health and safety. And with this focus and commitment, the hospitality market has searched for a modern, dynamic, technological solution that uniquely purifies the air and sanitizes the surfaces of hotels' interior spaces. It is said, sunlight is the best disinfectant. Hospitality Environments brings the cleansing power of the sun indoors. The technology Hospitality Environments has sourced to sanitize interior spaces delivers the world's most advanced air purification through recreating the energy of the sun to naturally purify your indoor environment. Using ultraviolet energy, this technology transforms water vapor into hydroxyls. Hydroxyls are active, strongly cleansing molecules which very rapidly destroy both airborne and surface pathogens, allergens, and odors. These hydroxyls initiate a dynamic chain reaction of powerful but safe oxidative molecules, which constantly and effectively diffuse throughout your entire room, rapidly and effectively destroying viruses such as SARS-CoV-2, responsible for COVID-19, and eradicating other unhealthy organisms like bacteria, mold, and mildew. Hospitality Environments has implemented this technology, employing an active molecular purification process after rigorous testing for total safety and scientifically validated effectiveness against COVID-19. This technology is a completely environmentally friendly, totally non-chemical, safe, and natural approach to room sanitization. Our MySpace hydroxyl generators work every second of every hour, 24/7, 365, to constantly and continuously cleanse the air and surfaces of your rooms. For more information on this modern 21st century approach to keeping your indoor environments virus and pathogen free, please click on the link following or scan the QR code on the front of one of our air purifiers. And rest assured, Hospitality Environments has made your stay as safe as possible.
Hey, nice video, guys. The thought we talked about last time was, we need to establish that not all of these devices are the same. Not air purifications are the same. So there's a technical element to it that I think Fraser would like to comment on. Walter, do you want to introduce Fraser quickly and let him dive into the content?
Sure will. Hey, I'd like to introduce Fraser Dodds, my partner here, and he's our co-founder for our company. He's got a great background in the medical. Fraser, do your thing.
Hey, pleasure to be on the webinar today amongst a distinguished and group of presenters and innovative companies. Though the current world's focus is on SARS-CoV-2, understandably, hydroxyl generators are proven effective against multiple organisms, pathogens, allergens, and as far as the probably the most frequently dealt with complaint with hoteliers, since Conrad introduced room service, we're also extremely effective against odors in the room. And this highlights a really critically important and differentiating point. These airborne viruses are transmitted through airborne pathways, and airborne problems require airborne solutions. So if hoteliers aren't looking at treating the interior air of their properties, they really aren't addressing the most critical element of guests and staff safety. The current hospitality focus on surface sanitization by chemical cleaning is not only contrary to the carbon neutral, enlightened, environmentally friendly approach and ethos that the hospitality industry has actually been a leader on in the last few years. Chemical cleaning, practically speaking, is ineffective in limiting viral transmission and as well as being financially and environmentally unsustainable. So if we want to move to the next slide. So the marketplace, as far as air purification, is quite crowded. And what really differentiates our product over virtually everything else in the market is the fact that we are not an air filter. Hydroxyl generators create an active dynamic molecule which cascades out into the room. And it then destroys these pathogens extremely effectively, both in the air and on surfaces. So by utilizing this technology, rather than human labor, we can sanitize air and surfaces continuously every minute of every day, 24/7, 365, and completely labor-free. So no other product or technology can deliver these benefits, and hydroxyl generators can do so for about $1 per day per room. Compared to filters, which require air to be drawn into the unit, and that depends on the size of the unit, the size of the filter, the airflow in the room. This can limit the air purification to just a few times an hour. Our units, again, are continuously operating 24/7. And so as soon as someone walks into that room, regardless of staff interaction in the room, cleaning beforehand, regardless of previous guests being in the room, the action of that hydroxyl generator has totally sanitized all the air and all the surfaces. So this technology really provides a solution that is safe, extremely effective, labor-free, chemical-free, continuous, and actually can decrease COVID-related cleaning costs, as well as providing an opportunity for increased revenue and RevPAR for the hotelier. And that's an available reality that benefits the guests, the staff, the hoteliers, and our environment alike.
Fantastic.
So here we can see just a little bit of a diagram about where Pure Technology, the hydroxyl generator manufacturer, exists in relation to the competition in the air purification space. And Pure is a clear leader in both air and surface sanitization. And I'll just throw it back to Danny. I know there might be a couple of questions.
Brad, do you have some expanded questions that we want to ask these guys?
One thing I want to note is, I have a real world experience with this particular product. And just to let the audience know, this technology's been around for over a decade for remediation purposes. It seems to be the only thing that can completely eliminate smoke smell. Anyway, I had a real world experience where for the winter storm that we had here in Texas, I had a pipe burst over my garage. And within a few days, couldn't get anybody to help you out around here. It had molded my entire garage, where you could see it on the walls. Just happened to have a lot of things in there that I was storing, so I was quite concerned about it. And Walter sent me several units to attack the problem with. And so there was two primary problems. One was the mold, the other was the smell. The smell was seeping into the house. It was really dense in my garage, and I was able to put a couple of these units in my garage. And within about 12 hours, you could walk in the garage without being totally offended by the smell. And so you could see that it was working. And within a day, you couldn't smell the mold smell anymore. So I was thoroughly impressed with how this attacks things in the air and on the surfaces. So I was sold when I had that. But addressing something that's a big concern in some hotel sectors, such as the casino industry, they have to deal with smoke problems, and as well as COVID and keeping the environment clean. And this addresses all of that. Some hotels have smoking floors. If this technology is put into place, it depends how long it's been a smoking floor. Sometimes it's for years and years, so that smell gets into the surfaces. This product can attack those smells and eventually completely eliminate them. And then the newest problem for hotels, I'm sure it's outside of the casino arena, but with the legalization of marijuana, that's become a new headache for hoteliers because it leads to upset guests for smelling it in the first place, but a lot of times you have to switch rooms for them, things of that nature. It's become a real hassle. And given that, this device in those rooms that's happening in, it can knock down that smell and dissipate it quite quickly, much more so than just in an ordinary way or through a filtration system. I just wanted to let everybody know I'm thoroughly impressed with it, and it definitely solves odor problems and then pathogen and bacterial issues that you may face. The other great thing that it's useful for is in coastal properties that are beachfront properties. A lot of times you get the musty smell in those arenas. And the great thing about this is once a room has been purified and everything's been knocked down, you walk into that room and it smells like a breath of fresh air, like you open the door for the first time in the morning. That breath of fresh air you get from the outside, that's the smell you get, except it's even much more intense. You can smell the unit working. It's not completely invisible.
And if I understand correctly, guys, and Brad, I think you amplified on this, they are available in sizes that support a room, a unit, a bigger room, and then even in the more industrial, right? So you have a series of them.
So the unit that you saw is being updated and more modern and comes in a variety of sizes. So do you want to speak to that, Walter or Fraser?
This technology is eminently scalable, so it will work in as small as a 150 square foot office space, a 400 square foot hotel room, or a 4 million square foot industrial facility or entertainment centers. We have the capacity to work with Pure, our manufacturer, to be able to scale this across basically any interior space.
Right, and this is a highly certified device that's also classified as a Class 2 medical device, right?
Yes, it's FDA approved. It's in school systems. It's being used as the primary sterilizing agent in medical facilities and operating theaters. It has a long, long operating history. Like you say, it's FDA approved. It's an eminently safe and extremely effective tool for viral and odor elimination.
Yeah, just one other problem I want to talk about that it solves, because everybody's been probably having to experience this with the chemicals that you have to spray on your surfaces. Over time, that can dull your surfaces. The key problem I'm hearing about is that it creates a sticky layer on surfaces over time. And over time, that's a chemical solution isn't going to be the answer.
Right. Hey, guys, we're going to wrap up. Well done. Appreciate you sharing that technology. And Brad, thanks for joining us. So again, now we've taken us through the journey, the departure, e-commerce, loyalty, using some of the same mobile application and solutions that John introduced to us. So John, are you back with us?
I'm back with you,
There we
Danny.
go. Hey, John, welcome back.
How you doing, Danny?
Good,
What a presentation, huh?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. It's been really enlightening. And what I think is keen about what you're going to share is that each and all of these technologies, innovations, ideas can be wrapped up, integrated into some of the mobile solutions that you're going to offer, and then make available for people to acquire as they're either in or departing from the hotel. So let's shed some light on that.
Okay, so let's start with part two. Hopefully the sequel will be better than the first part. So the journey is going to continue, and I want to touch on the guest engagement, the guest experience once they're in the hotel. So we know that they have a mobile phone on them. That's the one thing that they're going to carry with them throughout their stay. And I want to talk a little bit about one of the differentiation points of the virtual concierge, which is the personalization of information. Now, I strongly believe that hotels that adapt their offerings to the changing preferences and behaviors of the guests, really demonstrating that they listen, they understand their guests, and the guests are going to remember those hotels that took care of them and looked after them. I'm just going to show you a couple of different scenarios here. So here we have a family. This is my scenario. A lot of the times I travel with kids. I find it very frustrating that I can't find information about how the hotel's going to entertain my kids while I'm having a cocktail with my wife. So we want to make sure that when people are looking and engaging with the virtual concierge, that we know that there's a family traveling, and we present them with options that we know they're going to want to consume. So everything to do with kids clubs, when you're traveling with kids. But when you're not traveling with kids, then we know that you're going to want to see something very different. So when you're looking at the special offers and you're not traveling with children, then we're going to want to sell you spa experiences, romantic dinners, wine tours. You probably don't want to see anything to do with kids. So personalization, Amazon does it every day, Netflix do it. We all have that in our daily lives, and we wanted to bring that to the hotel sector as well. So I'm going to go for another scenario. This is one that all of us that travel, we're at some point going to get hungry. Now, what do we need to do? We need to go and find a menu. If I want to order room service, I need to go up to the room and grab a menu. So we wanted to change that. So just simply saying I am hungry to the virtual concierge is going to show you all of the options that are available. Very generic. These are my offering. However, and I know this is, we've been here a while, so I'm getting hungry now, so apologies for that. But if you know that you want a pizza, then you can ask for a pizza, and the virtual concierge is going to show you those options. And if you really, really want to know, you want what you want a pepperoni pizza, then you can just ask for it. Now, really, really important, upselling. We want to upsell. We want to turn every engagement into an opportunity. So again, using AI, using the virtual concierge, we know what the most popular ingredients are, the most popular accompaniments. So who's not going to order, a garlic bread and some extra cheese when they're ordering their pizza? So we're now going to be taking, a $10.50 pizza without upselling, and we're going to turn that into an opportunity. And here we're doing an upselling, and we're increasing the RevPAR by 52% just on this one item. Now, if you can imagine, Danny, everybody, if you could increase your revenue 50% on every interaction, this would be a no-brainer. Okay, we want to redefine as well what we call room service, because why does it have to be restricted to the room? We're very used to now using delivery services where we tell them where we want them to bring out the food. So we've created different delivery points. This is totally configurable, where you can say, hey, you can bring the food to my room or by the terrace, or I'm in I'm on a hammock or in the pool. And so we want to give that power for the guests to be able to choose where they want the food delivered. And if that particular space is not available during a certain time, then it won't show. So with a virtual concierge, we offer, and I'd need to do a whole new webinar to show you all of the features, but here's just a few of the examples of some of the things that you can put on there where people use it, for example, to reinforce their COVID information, to allow people to see what they're doing to keep them safe, everything here. And it's all managed by a back office content management system. So again, the hotel gets power and gets control. So, another thing with the room service, it's a piece of card or a piece of paper. You know how frustrating it is and how difficult it is to have to change that. Whereas with this system, you can create seasonal menus. So when it's Christmas time, you can add different variations to the menu without having to reprint. And it gives you the power to create promotions on the fly. If you see that something's doing really well, you can add it, you can take them off. So the idea here is, with a very, very simple content management system, you control the content that show. No two hotels are alike. They all work very different. They all offer different services. So you need a powerful content management system. And we want to digitalize everything. So basically, we want to give the guests all of the information about the hotel facilities, services, everything to do with the spa, what they can do when they get there, where they can eat. They can order breakfast in bed from their mobile phone. They don't need to pick up the hotel telephone. They can do this from their mobile phone. If you like to play golf, you can find out where you play golf. You can order your pillows or all any amenities that you've forgotten, or if you've seen like a MySpace purifier and you fancy taking one home, you can even create those into a little online shopping, and you can put all your products on there and create an extra revenue stream. So everything to do with the towels, rather than put them in the suitcase, you can buy them. And this is one of my favorite features, which is the ordering the cocktail. So you can imagine yourself by the pool. You bring up the virtual concierge. You say, I want a cocktail. You get you order your mojito. You tell it to come and deliver it to the poolside sunbed number 4, and a couple of minutes later, it's delivered. This is I want to test this out in a few hotels in the Caribbean. And just as a conclusion, I just want to highlight a few things that separate us from the rest. So this is a cloud solution, so there's no CapEx required. It works as a software as a service. It's secure. We're using Microsoft Azure platform. They invest over $1 billion in cybersecurity, have more certifications than any other cloud supplier. We use artificial intelligence. So we believe we're pioneers in the use of artificial intelligence for this kind of solution in the hospitality sector. So I've touched on things like the chatbot, the personalization, multi-language, and using natural language. So you can actually just ask for what you want. Multi-channel, so the same concierge can be available on the web, on your mobile, using an Alexa, or even Facebook Messenger. Multiple inputs using text, voice, touch, or images, and there's a huge amount of insights that are created with the virtual concierge. Every interaction is an opportunity to collect data, and with that we can use that to personalize the guest experience. We use the AI machine learning to predict supply and demand. And we also have an amazing offer for 3 months trial for free for anybody that wants to try the virtual concierge, completely free for 3 months. And with that one, I want to say thank you. My daughter's actually calling me next to me. So I want to say thank you very much. And I'll take any questions if you.
Yeah, John, I have a quick question for you, just in regards to hoteliers' desire to integrate with a reward system or a point system and promoting the use of using points versus cash, things of that nature. How easy is it to integrate your system with a point system?
What we've created is a platform. It's able to integrate into PMS systems, point of sale systems. We've left it open. Obviously, there's integration. We have a whole integration team. We can integrate into rewards program, into the property management system. So there is a part where you would have to log in. It identifies the guest. It knows whether they've got a pending reservation or if they're in-house. So it's a very open system. We have a great team of developers. This is an in-house solution. So anything that needs to be integrated, we can certainly give it our best.
Sure. You know, one of the initiatives we had when I worked at Hilton, in charge of putting together a solution that would remove the front desk, to where walking up to the hotel, you would be greeted. People would know you by name, hand you a key if that was necessary. With today's technology, you don't even need to do that. This type of technology really enables the customer to not have to experience the front desk. So it kind of starts bringing that dream into a reality. And at Hilton, we were seriously looking at that, because we know that high traffic places, or those times that it's really busy, the wait in line is definitely not a good guest experience. Access right to their room right when they get there, that's something very notable.
Sure, and something very important, Brad. I just wanted, this isn't to replace, the people. This is to complement the people. So there is a growing desire for people to self-service. I personally, my wife doesn't mind picking up the phone, speaking to reception 10 times. If she asks me to do it, I dread it. But if I could avoid that, use an app to do it, believe me, I would. So there's people that there is a growing desire. Obviously, we're getting into the millennials, and there's a, as we talk about, there's a different There's a new set of people coming. They're much more technology savvy. They've had a great experience booking it. You know, the booking process has completely been revolutionized. Airbnb have disrupted the market, but the experience in the hotel, the guest experience, hasn't evolved very much, and that's what we wanted to fix.
Hey,
Right.
John, before you depart, while Brad is here, there was a good question, a handful of questions have come through, but Sarah asked, can I purchase pillows or shampoos or linens through this concierge app?
You can indeed. Sometimes you have great amenities in the hotel, and you want to purchase it. And so there you have an opportunity to put all of these products as a takeaway for the guest. They can purchase it, they can have it delivered to their room, and they can charge it to their room.
Very good. Hey, John, I'll let you go. I appreciate the feedback. You did great on starting us off and bringing us home. So
Thank
appreciate
you so
it,
much.
man. Brad, why don't you stay on? Weigh in on this. So we're going to wrap up here in the next 2 minutes, but weigh in on this. Another good question is, how do you make this affordable for hoteliers impacted by the low occupancy rates related to COVID shutdowns? And I think what's been a testament to each of these innovative solution providers is that they are giving models and subscriptions where they're giving you the device. You're basically just reshaping where you're already spending on sanitation here, or you got the mobile app. So weigh in on that we're doing, and Hotel Business Ventures is really focused on identifying those solutions that are going to make it cost effective and or complementary to get back into the game.
Sure. No, great question. I'll start with Astria's solution. Take something that's a real problem for the maintenance of these machines at the hotel level. It impacts operations, the ordering of your sanitizer, making sure you're getting the right sanitizer, that it's all FDA approved. You know, all those types of things got thrust upon the industry. So with our solution with Astria, it takes all those maintenance pains out of it and actually provides you additional information that you didn't have before. Not only is it taking care of you aesthetically, if you're in the right venue to where you can take advantage of the advertising potential, the CPM, the eyeballs on a new display stand, the advertising potential for that can be, 5 to 10 times what you're having to pay for the sanitizer. So not only did we reduce the cost of what you were able to purchase sanitizer for and bring that down to a reasonable cost, there's a way to turn it into a profit center for you, so it's not costing you anything. That particular solution solves a lot of issues and then has the bonus of being a revenue generator. And we give you the stands for free just for a 1-year commitment. So on the hydroxyl generator, kind of the same principle. Our financing for that is really good. There's small capital investment that's necessary on the hotel side, but the revenue generator aspect of it can outweigh that, because people can buy these units in their room, and the guest experience is quite phenomenal because you can smell that freshness when you enter into the room. With that, it adds that other profit layer to a hotel to where they can be making more money than they're putting out to have that in place. But the guest experience, giving somebody to be able to order one of those for home, is a great aspect. But the other thing hotels can benefit from off of a device like that is to have a number of their rooms in the hotel. Let's say half the rooms have this device in it. You can upsell those rooms. We've already done the studies on this. 4 out of 5 people will pay $15 extra to be in one of these type of rooms. There's different ways with each one of these products to gain a revenue stream. The My Protect kit, that one's more of an expense. That one doesn't have it on the other side, but it's a branding, it's eyeballs. So every time somebody reaches for their Protect kit, they see that it's branded by Hilton or another brand. You can put other things in the kit. It doesn't necessarily have to be PPE and COVID related. It can be, if you're at a beach resort, it can have things to protect you against the sun. The branding recognition from having that goes far beyond just the initial transaction of handing it to a guest. So that, as well as you can sell it in your retail shops. So again, that's another one that you can make more money than you're putting it in. And then with the virtual concierge, it really ties it all together. It gives people what they're looking for today and gives these other product lines easy access for the guests to be able to purchase. I'm really excited about that technology and how the AI aspect of it works. The more you can interact with the guests and give them that experience that's working the way they want it to, then so that's kind of my wrap on each one.
Yeah, outstanding response to that. So let's bring back that last that slide with the circle one more time. And then we're going to wrap up with the slide that we started off with at the very beginning. So again, we took you through a journey, and it is our goal, our objective. We hope we delivered on opening your eyes to pivot points, as Dieter said, that are room for disruption and innovation on pre-arrival, first impression, the in-room appreciation, health wellness reinforcement, and then circling it back up with the same app that you're using for pre-arrival, during the experience, and departure. So it was our goal to show that these are elements and pivot points where there's room for disruption and innovation that's going to go focus on those goals of getting people back to travel, the safety of the staff and the guests, incentivizing ongoing relationships, whole guest experience. Thank you, everybody, for making the time out of your day. Brad, thanks for having me be a part of this. Kudos to everybody who participated. Brad, John, Byron, CC, Walter and Fraser, Sean Landgraf, and great job, Leah and Tony, on the background helping facilitate and guide us through. Brad, any final words before we part off and say goodbye to everybody?
No, I just wanted to thank everybody for coming to the event. Hope it was valuable for you. If you're interested in any of these, please contact us. We're very diligent about getting back to you and looking to provide these solutions. And I want to thank all our partners today, and much appreciated to take the time to do this. And I especially want to thank Dieter for taking the time to share his wisdom with us as it relates to what's going on in the hospitality industry today. You know, the good news is, just recently come back from travel, and things are definitely getting back into full force very quickly. Convention space is lagging behind because of the timing involved with that, but it'll be coming back next, and we hope that we can provide solutions in that to help that guest experience and to keep everybody safe.
All right, guys. Hey, good job, everybody. Thank you for being here, Brad. We'll talk to you later, my man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Danny.
Oh,
much appreciated.